Good morning. It is Thursday, March 30th. Where'd the month go? Day 67 of my through hike. I am sitting in the public parking area in Damascus, Virginia. They have an area where you can go online and register. It's right across from the library. It's recommended a place for hikers to park. The local police come through here regularly, and it's, fairly safe place to leave your car in this day of worrying about people stealing your catalytic converter and whatnot. Back in Damascus, headed north this time. Solid line to Amicalola Falls in Georgia. Feels good to have the Smokies behind me. Headed north. A reminder for hikers, if you're using the Far Out app, this is a map change in Damascus, Virginia. I got up here a little ways and remembered I had not set up for past Damascus. So fortunately the town does have a town Wi-Fi, and works pretty good once you sign in. So I did do that. There's a restroom here in the park. For some reason it says bathroom out of order on the door. I still went in and checked. It wasn't locked. It's water in the toilet and it flushes, so I did use it. Yeah, I just saw a couple of guys with through hiker tags. Asked if they were through hiker. No, just section. They just gave us the tags. Whatever. So I'm headed north through town. I got my new map loaded up. Wi-Fi worked good. Switches like right in the middle of town. Just a reminder. Headed north. The ATC does have an office in Damascus. It's actually pretty fancy. Been overhauled, I think, pretty recently. It's right on the main street. You can see the kind of famous Trail Town USA sign over there to the right. They got a lot of murals and hiking and fishing and whatnot, but there you go. This is the ATC building in Damascus. So here you go. Beautiful day. It's chilly if you stand around for a while, but I have got to drop a layer because hiking it, I'm sweating. So coming out of Damascus, you got a bit of a street walk. As soon as you get out of town, the trail kind of heads into the woods and uphill. Goes up through the woods for about 500 feet of elevation climb. And then it's got a little upsy and downsy as it cuts across through the woods. And then you do what's so very typical of the AT. It turns and heads up a ridge line. And it goes up about another 500 feet. So I'm like at 2,900 feet right now. I'm not all the way up, but I'm getting there. So 4 hours in, I've gone about 5.5 miles, about noontime, a little after. Campsite, nice campsite right here. Stealth site. Then there's a bunch of sites listed in Far Out. This one isn't even listed. And part of what makes it nice is, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a stream right over there. I mean, I can see the water flowing from here. So just met a Sobo. Still at the same place. Just met a Sobo. He's just finishing up a couple of pieces he skipped. He's already done the back to Amicalola. He's just got a couple little southbounder for 2022 is what Sobo means, southbounder. Anyway, I've met 5 hikers since my last filming, not counting this guy I just talked to. And one of them, first one, we were talking for a little bit, and after we were talking, he says, "Oh, you're Hiram Hikes." I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, should I follow you online?" And he says, "I don't know why I didn't recognize you." Anyway, and then a group of 4 that were hiking together, and 2 of them had seen my stuff online, so it's pretty odd. It feels kind of funny. Anyway, I'm headed north. Happy, making decent miles. The trail's nice. Beautiful day. So Damascus has, they call themselves Trail Town USA, and it's not just Appalachian Trail. They have, I think, 3 major trails, and only 2 of which I can remember is the Appalachian Trail and the Virginia Creeper Trail. The trail you see right down here, you see the bridge and a path that goes along there. It's running parallel with the AT, which is here. I mean, we do a lot of ups and downs, and that tends to be pretty flat. It's a bike trail, and I've seen quite a few, groups of 3, 4, 5 bikes together go rolling down through there. And it's a very, very popular bike trail. There's lots of bike rentals and places where they'll take you up and you can ride back into Damascus by bike and whatnot. So big, very popular trail. I think there's another one, and I know there's a place where there's one trail where that has horses on it, and I don't know all the details. But so 6 hours in, 7.6 miles. The trail got really rocky right after noontime. Stayed that way for a while. Just got better here a little bit ago, just as it turns for an up. It's a pretty good up. I just watched a couple guys went by me, and they switchbacks back and forth all the way up that ahead of us. So pretty steep, long uphill coming. I'm 2 miles from Saunders. That'll be almost a 10-mile day. I don't really want to stop there. So Saunders Shelter, I should say. I don't want to stop there. Keep going, but it's not gonna. My pace isn't gonna pick up because I've got the next probably hour or so, hour or two is gonna be all uphill, and I go slow. It's 4 o'clock. Kind of sitting on a log. I got a problem. Figure it out, I guess, but my Nav app doesn't know where I am. Doesn't even give me the opportunity to navigate anymore. It's just basically a map that's not talking to my phone or my GPS and figuring out my location. Doesn't even have the button anymore for centering on my location. When I uploaded the map this morning, it gave me a chance to accept upload updates, and I did. Apparently one of them ain't working very well. So, I mean, it's how I navigate and how I make decisions. I'm not going to get lost on the trail excessively. I'll figure my way around, but like I calculate how far it is to the next shelter and what time it is and how long I got and how far to go. And all of that ability is gone. I've turned the phone on and off. I've turned the app on and off. I've gone from airplane mode to regular mode and checked for updates again on the app. Nothing seems to work. It ain't running. Very frustrating. But I just got to head north, so that's what I'm doing. So after over an hour messing with it, my Nav app is now navigating again. It knows where I am. These are rhododendrons mostly. I think this right here is mountain laurel, all of which quite a bunch of this will be pretty and blossom in the next few weeks. I got a little view across, but up and down the trail it's kind of tunneled in. Got about a mile to a water source, mile point something, less up to 2 miles to campsites. There's 2 or 3 of them. I'm going to look at the notes on them. Don't have much more to say. I'm 11.5, I think, into my day. I had 10 hours. Wish I was a little bit better, but like I said, I spent at least an hour messing on the phone. The smaller leaves are mountain laurel, and the big ones are rhododendron. Pretty sure. I'm going to head along, get some water. Get a tent site, probably camel up at the water, which means basically I'll drink probably at least half a liter while I'm filtering water so that I don't have full water but then go into camp thirsty and chug a bunch of it tonight because I'm going to be in a dry campsite. If it all works out, I'll come out of camp in the morning with probably about a liter and then additional water sites coming up. I'm 4.5, I think, miles away from the next shelter, which I cannot make. But what'll happen is if I go 2 tonight, that'll be 2.5. So I'll get there sometimes in the morning. Probably go into the shelter. If it's close to trail, I don't know that. I'll go into the shelter in the morning and, get water, use the privy, get washed up, cleaned up, take a break, and then start my rest of my day. So I'm headed north. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Update for day 67, 30th of March. It's a Thursday. Left Damascus. Well, I left Bristol, Tennessee, actually a hotel, and drove to Damascus, and then hiked through Damascus, and I'm at a intersection of the Virginia Creeper Trail and the AT. I did an extra half a mile at the end down to near a parking lot that has a privy and a trash can, both of things nice to have in the morning. Got trash from the stuff I had during the day yesterday, always good to get rid of it, and then always good to get a privy. About another 1.7 to the shelter that I would have liked to have gone to. Oh well, and I've got that half-mile back walk today to get back onto the trail from where I came down to, but either way it's okay. I I got a little bit of a late start. I forgot to get the next map downloaded, so I messed around with that in town a little bit, get going, and then there were updates from the program, which I took, which apparently caused me some problems because I ended up losing the nav ability. I still don't know exactly why. I spent well over an hour in a number of stops trying to get my my navigation back working again. I offloaded and reloaded, and I ended up deleting some stuff that other maps to try to make more memory space. I didn't know what was causing it. I still don't know what was causing it. I did finally get it back. Loss of far out doesn't make me lost. I've still got my my Garmin, and the trail is well marked, but it's what I use for all my planning. I look at, okay, I've got it's this time, I've got this many miles left, and I'll say, okay, if I go at 1 mile an hour, it gets me there at this time. And then I look at it at 2 hours later, and if it says, oh, I'm going to get there earlier, which it should, because I usually go greater than 1 mile an hour, you know, it gives me an ability to predict when I'll actually arrive. And if for some reason it doesn't, you know, the time doesn't get earlier, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. So it's an important planning aid to me. It also lets me know, you know, as I go by a water source, okay, I got another one, and how far is it? I've got a paper map that will show me, okay, there's another water source, but it's hard for me to tell exactly the distance I am from it unless the Nav app is working. So anyway, I got it working again, got here. Didn't get the tent set up till about 8 o'clock. I got in here late. It was 8:30 by the time I get into the tent, and obviously the last part of the setup was with a headlamp. But it's a decent site. It's flat.